This is the entire story of Black Panther, the animated series. How did T'Challa go from a young prince hunted on foreign soil to a king who outsmarted the Avengers, defied ancient enemies, and changed Wakanda forever? This series didn't just tell a superhero tale, it gave us political intrigue, royal drama, and one of the most underrated Marvel arcs ever animated. If you thought you knew Black Panther, you don't, not until you've seen this. We open with Wakanda under threat, and not just any threat. We're talking invasion-level, military-grade danger. The series kicks off with T'Challa's father, King T'Chaka, squaring off against one of the most dangerous men in Marvel history, Ulysses Klaw. Klaw isn't just hunting vibranium, he's got a whole squad of supervillains with him, including Juggernaut, Batroc the Leaper, and the Radioactive Man. Yeah, it's basically the supervillain version of the Avengers. And they're coming for Wakanda. T'Chaka, being the seasoned Black Panther, doesn't go down easy. But even he can't stop Klaw's brutal campaign. In a devastating moment right in front of his people and his son, T'Chaka is killed. It's a hard-hitting opener, and it instantly shifts the entire vibe of the show from superhero flash to political epic. With T'Chaka dead, Wakanda is left reeling. And that's when young T'Challa, just a prince, steps into the spotlight. But don't get it twisted. This isn't some overnight rise to power. T'Challa isn't just handed the throne. He earns it. Wakanda's leadership isn't just based on bloodline. It's based on strength, strategy, and spirit. T'Challa has to prove he's worthy. That means facing challenges from within his own court, his own people, and, of course, the ever-looming threat of Klaw and his mercenaries. This chapter sets the tone. Wakanda isn't just a backdrop, it's a character. Vibrant, ancient, advanced, and fiercely independent. And T'Challa, he's not just becoming Black Panther. He's becoming the king Wakanda needs. Now this is where things get real. T'Challa may be the prince of Wakanda, but that doesn't mean they just hand him the crown and the panther suit with a friendly, "Good luck, kid." Nope. In Wakanda, you earn that legacy. You bleed for it. This brings us to the sacred rite of ascension, also known as the Test of the Panther. And let me tell you, it's not some ceremonial handshake. It's brutal, it's spiritual, it's very Wakandan. T'Challa is taken deep into the ancestral realms of Wakanda, where he must face a gauntlet of challenges designed to test his body, mind, and soul. No shortcuts here. And yeah, he's still just a teenager at this point. No panther powers, no fancy suit, just guts, smarts, and raw determination. First, he has to survive against Wakanda's deadliest wildlife, a full-on jungle survival mission. Then there's the combat trials, where he goes hand-to-hand with seasoned warriors. And as if that wasn't enough, the final challenge? A one-on-one fight with the reigning Black Panther, his uncle, Sion. Yep, Wakandan family reunions are a bit different. Sion took on the Black Panther mantle after T'Chaka's death, and he's no slouch. He's strong, wise, and has the Panther powers flowing through his veins. But T'Challa? He's fueled by purpose. He's not just fighting for the throne, he's fighting for justice for his father and for the future of his people. The fight is intense, but T'Challa holds his own and he proves, without the powers, that he's worthy. And when it's done, when the challenge is complete, he earns the right to drink the heart-shaped herb, the sacred plant that links him to the panther god, Bast. This is where the legend begins. The herb enhances his strength, speed, and senses, but it also connects him to the ancestral plane, where he meets the spirits of past Black Panthers, including his father. It's a powerful, emotional moment, not just for T'Challa, but for us too. He isn't just becoming a superhero, he's stepping into a legacy, one that spans generations, one that demands sacrifice and wisdom. So now, with the spirit of Bast watching over him and the power of the Black Panther coursing through his veins, T'Challa is officially crowned king. But ruling Wakanda? That's a whole different challenge. Before we dive in, I'm a small channel trying to grow to 1,000 subs, and with your help, we're climbing strong. So hit that subscribe button. All right, back to Wakanda. Being king isn't just wearing a crown and looking cool in a vibranium suit. T'Challa quickly learns that ruling Wakanda means constantly walking a tightrope between tradition and progress, protection and diplomacy. And oh yeah, everybody wants a piece of Wakanda. Enter the first major storm, Klaw. Yeah, that Klaw. The dude with the sonic cannon arm and a vendetta the size of Mount Bashenga. Years ago, Klaw was responsible for T'Chaka's death, and now he's back with a full-on invasion force. He's not alone either. He's got mercs, mechs, and a full strategy to steal Wakanda's greatest treasure, vibranium. But here's the thing. Wakanda might look peaceful and secluded, but it's packing tech centuries ahead of the rest of the world. And under T'Challa's leadership, that defense? Ruthless and precise. Still, it's not just an external war. It's internal too. Some Wakandans start to question whether T'Challa is strong enough, wise enough, or even ready to rule. Especially with foreign enemies at the gates and political sharks circling inside the royal court, not everyone's a fan of the new king. And then comes the twist. Klaw isn't working alone. He's allied with one of the most dangerous minds in the Marvel universe, Doctor Doom. Yup, that Doctor Doom. Because clearly things weren't intense enough already. Doom's interest in Wakanda is deeper than vibranium. He wants to tap into Wakanda's mystical power, its connection to the Panther God, and ultimately gain control over reality itself. And yeah, that's a big deal. This team-up triggers one of Wakanda's darkest hours. Klaw brings destruction on the ground. Doom manipulates from the shadows, and T'Challa is forced to make impossible choices. Sacrifice lives to save the kingdom, or risk everything to protect the heart of Wakanda. In the middle of all this chaos, T'Challa's leadership truly evolves. He's no longer just a prince fighting to prove himself. He's a king making hard calls, suffering real losses, and pushing back against overwhelming odds. With help from his trusted allies like Shuri, General Zuri, and the fierce Dora Milaje, he eventually pushes back the invaders, outsmarts Doom, and reclaims control. But it's clear now, Wakanda is no longer safe in isolation. The world has noticed, and some very dangerous players are taking aim. Alright, let's be real. If there's one person in Wakanda who can match T'Challa's brains and bravery, it's his little sister Shuri. But don't get it twisted. Shuri's not just some royal sidekick or tech whiz in the lab. She's got ambition, attitude, and a genius-level intellect that rivals anyone in the Marvel universe. At first, Shuri's all about outdoing her brother, sneaking into the challenge ceremony, training in secret, always trying to prove she can be more than a princess. And you know what? She can. Because when T'Challa is severely injured during the events with Doctor Doom, Wakanda doesn't just need a leader, it needs a protector. Fast, and Shuri steps up. She takes on the Black Panther mantle, becomes the new guardian of Wakanda, and instantly proves she's not playing around. Her fighting style? Efficient and brutal. Her tech? Next level. Her attitude? Total boss. But becoming the Black Panther isn't just a costume swap, it's spiritual. Shuri has to face the Panther God, and guess what? She's rejected. Why? Because deep down, she still wrestles with pride, jealousy, and feeling like she's living in her brother's shadow. But here's where Shuri becomes something more. Even without the full blessing, she doesn't quit. She doesn't back down. She builds her own path as protector, blending her scientific mind with fierce determination and raw power. And when Wakanda is hit again, this time by Namor and the forces of Atlantis, Shuri is the one who holds the line. With T'Challa recovering and the throne vulnerable, it's Shuri who commands the army, leads the strategy, and takes the war to the ocean floor. Her leadership is bold, aggressive, and sometimes divisive. She's not T'Challa, and that's exactly the point. She's building her own legacy. Over time, Shuri gains more than just respect. She gains spiritual strength too. Eventually, the Panther God accepts her. She becomes a true Black Panther, not just in armor, but in soul. And let's not forget, while Shuri is out there saving Wakanda with spears and science, she's also repping young Black brilliance in a way that hits different. She's the future, and the future is here. So now we've got two legends in one royal family. But the world outside Wakanda? It's about to explode. By this point, T'Challa's already gone from king to warrior to global icon. But now, the entire world is watching Wakanda, and the pressure's on. T'Challa has always walked the tightrope between tradition and innovation, isolation and diplomacy. But after everything, Klaw, Killmonger, Namor, Shuri rising to power, he realizes it's time to step beyond the borders of Wakanda. And so he joins the Avengers. Not just as a guest star, not as backup, as one of their core leaders. T'Challa brings that Wakandan confidence into every battle. While Iron Man's calculating and Cap's strategizing, Black Panther moves like a shadow, silent, lethal, and 10 steps ahead. Whether it's taking on alien invasions or multiversal threats, he proves he's not just the protector of Wakanda, he's a global force for justice. But back home, things get even more complicated. Remember when Wakanda was a secret? Yeah, that's over. With tech leaking into the outside world and enemies getting bolder, T'Challa has to play 4D chess just to keep the throne. And then comes Doom War. Doctor Doom, ever the schemer, launches a full assault on Wakanda to seize control of vibranium. Doom doesn't just want weapons, he wants to control the soul of Wakanda itself. And he nearly does it. T'Challa, injured and out of the spotlight, hands the mantle to Shuri. But even while recovering, he goes deep undercover, striking deals, making sacrifices, and pulling strings that even Doom doesn't see coming. This isn't just about power, this is about preserving the spirit of Wakanda. After Doom's defeat, T'Challa realizes something heavy. Vibranium isn't Wakanda's greatest strength. It's its people. So he shuts down the vibranium reserves. Yeah, that's right. He makes the hardest call of his life and essentially cripples Wakanda's economic superpower, just to keep it out of the hands of tyrants. That's the kind of king T'Challa is, always thinking long game, always willing to sacrifice for the greater good. And through it all, he remains with the Avengers. Sometimes as a spy, sometimes as their conscience, but always as a warrior who never forgets where he came from. Black Panther isn't just fighting villains, he's fighting for the future. For a world where Wakanda can lead not with weapons, but with wisdom. As the series builds toward its climax, Wakanda stands on the edge of war. Klaw's invasion is in full motion, and he's brought serious backup. Juggernaut, the Radioactive Man, the Black Knight, and the freaking Rhino. A full-blown supervillain invasion, and all of it funded and fueled by Klaw's hatred for Wakanda. But here's where things get epic. T'Challa, despite still recovering from injuries, returns to lead his people. The Wakandan army isn't just high-tech, it's united. His leadership inspires them to stand tall, and the Dora Milaje hold the line like absolute legends. Klaw thinks he's got it in the bag. He's brought brute force, strategy, and even a few betrayals along the way. But what he didn't count on was Wakanda's spirit and the power of the Black Panther. T'Challa outsmarts and outfights every single threat Klaw throws at him. One by one, the villains fall. In the final battle, T'Challa takes on Klaw himself. It's not just a fight, it's personal. Klaw's the one responsible for his father's death, the one who's tried to rip Wakanda apart from the inside. And this time, T'Challa makes sure he pays. With Klaw defeated and Wakanda safe once more, the series closes with T'Challa fully stepping into his role, not just as king, but as a protector of his people. His journey through legacy, betrayal, and war has shaped him into the kind of leader Wakanda and the world needs. T'Challa's journey wasn't just about battles or politics, it was about legacy. We watched a young king rise, challenge tradition, and become the protector Wakanda needed. He didn't just wear the mantle, he earned it. This wasn't just a superhero story, it was a Wakandan legacy. And in the end, the message was loud and clear. Wakanda doesn't just survive, it roars. Long live the Black Panther! If this story moved you, don't just scroll past, hit that subscribe button, join the tribe, and let's keep exploring the legends behind the mask. Because this is just the beginning.